Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the Cowboys roster and rebuilding that. So the Cowboys just lost to the Green Bay Packers in a very close game, so I was going to do some tweaks to their roster, trying to make them better and see if they can get any further. So looking at the roster, clearly the O-line is set. One thing I was going to look at is moving Lyle Collins to right tackle to replace Doug Free. I think that would probably be a good move. And we can see how good he is in that position. Alright, so he's an 80 overall, improvement against Doug Free, and he has quick development and 23. So that's definitely a good choice. I think we'll get rid of probably Tony Romo. And then the defense is really where there are some problems. Yeah, so defense needs a lot of upgrading, so let's jump into some trades. Alright, with this first trade, I'm sending Cedric Thornton, Jeff Heath, and a second-round pick from this year for Khalil Mack, and a seventh-round pick from next year to the Raiders. With this next trade, I'm sending Justin Durant and Brandon Carr to the Bengals for Geno Atkins. The Cowboys really needed a defensive tackle. I think Geno Atkins could be a big improvement. Alright, so in this trade I might have definitely overpaid, but I sent Dak Prescott, Terrence Knighton, who I picked up in free agency, and a first-round pick for Joey Bosa, and a seventh-round pick. Trading Dak Prescott here is the first step in something that I'm going to do to make a big change, and mainly test out a new quarterback who I really enjoyed watching play in college, so I will show that in the next trade. Alright, so here he is, Cardale Jones. I want to try him out and see how well he progresses, so I'm giving the Bills this third-string cornerback I have, and I'm going to try out Cardale Jones. And now I have to get rid of Tony Romo. So with Tony Romo, I decided just to get one more Ohio State veteran in Terrell Pryor Sr. as another wide receiver for Cardale Jones to have. And I think the team is probably looking pretty solid right now. Cardale Jones needs to be the starter. I can edit that in the depth chart. Quarterback, Cardale Jones, rookie, right there. Alright, so for wide receivers, we have Dez Bryant, Cole Beasley, Terrell Pryor. The offensive line is looking great. Jason Witten at tight end, Ezekiel Elliott at running back, and Cardale Jones at the head of the offense. And with defense, it's looking pretty good. I think I need to put, I'm not sure why he's not in here, but we can go ahead and put Jalen Smith in. Right, so the sim is about to finish up, and it looks as though we are 4-3. Alright, I can look at this. Let's go look at stats. We're still leading the division. Let's look at stats. It must be Cardale Jones. Yeah, the 8 interceptions, 1 per game, is not great. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott, not great. Receiving, anybody doing that well? Cole Beasley, that's pretty surprising. Blocking, sacks allowed, that's more than I would expect. Anybody doing well on defense? Sacks. That's too bad from Khalil Mack. He's not putting up crazy numbers, neither is Joey Bosa. So I will spend some XP and then sim to the playoffs. So at the end of the season, it looks like we went 9-7, just barely making the playoffs, with the Redskins going 10-6 right above us. And it looks like there's a fair amount of XP to be spent for Cardale Jones. So let's go look at the stats. First, let's look at defense. Not a whole lot. Alright, let's look at the stats. Cardale Jones ended up having a pretty successful rookie season. 4,700 yards, 35 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott, 1,100 yards is pretty good. 14 touchdowns is definitely really good. Receiving, Terrell Pryor leads the team in receptions. He gets 970 yards and 7 touchdowns. Dez Bryant and Cole Beasley both break 1,000 yards and each get 8 touchdowns, so that's pretty good. Let's look at sacks. Sacks allowed. Tyron Smith allows a lot. I don't know why. Lyle Collins, that's fair. Zach Martins, we were pretty good on the sack numbers. Defense, tackles. Jalen Smith, the rookie, led our team in tackles. For sacks, Geno Atkins with 13, Khalil Mack 11, and Joey Bosa third with 10.5. Interceptions, Orlando Scandrick gets 4. Leon McFadden gets 4. Sean Lee with 3. Jalen Smith with 3 as well. So that's definitely good. And let's just look at kicking. Dan Bailey, 13 for 17. 55 for 57 on the extra points. That's disappointing. And let's look at the yearly awards and see how everybody did. Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP with Cardell Jones coming in 7th. Coach of the Year goes to Dan Quinn with the 13-3 Falcons. That's pretty good. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, of course, goes to Aaron Rodgers since he also won the MVP. Cardell Jones comes in 4th. It's the only Cowboy. Defensive Player of the Year, no Cowboys. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Cardell Jones 1. Ezekiel Elliott's 2. It's pretty good. Michael Thomas, another Ohio State player, coming in 8th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Smith and Joey Bosa, 3rd and 4th. That's disappointing. Best QB, Cardell Jones gets 2nd. That's pretty good. Best running back, Ezekiel Elliott gets 4th. Best wide receiver, do we have anybody? Des Bryant, 9th. Best O-line, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, 4th and 5th, and Tyron Smith in 9th. Best D-line, we have Geno Atkins, 5, Khalil Mack at 6th, and Joey Bosa at 10th. Best linebacker, we have Sean Lee at 9th. Best defensive back, we have Orlando Scandrick at 8th. And the best kicker, Dan Bailey, comes in at 7th. Alright, so I'm going to spend some XP, and then we can see how we'll do against the Lions in the wild card. So after upgrades, our team is up to an 89 overall compared to the Detroit Lions at an 82 overall. So hopefully we can get the win against them. Get our confidence up, maybe get to 90 overall. Alright, so we're looking at this first quarter. Looks like we're going down the field. The Lions get a field goal. Alright, tied 3-3. Next quarter. Still pretty even. Cardell Jones, Detroit Lions march down, get a touchdown. And that's all the scoring there is for the second quarter. 16-10, looks like we missed their extra point. 24-3, that's looks like we're going to go down here in the wild card round, so we'll have to do one more season. Yeah, that's 27-3, 27-9, 16-27, 16-30. Lose by 2 touchdowns, that's a rough end. So we'll finish the game here. Cardell Jones got up to a 76 overall in the end, which was pretty good. Hopefully after next season we can progress him a little bit further and maybe we can perform a little bit better. Alright, so I will catch you guys in the off season. Alright, so it looks like Jason Witten retired, which is kind of a bummer. So now we're left with Gavin Escobar. We can see who won the Super Bowl. The Patriots and the Falcons were in the Super Bowl, which seems like it could be pretty realistic for at least this season. And the Falcons win 38-27. So the Falcons are the Super Bowl champions in this simulation, which is still possible. They're still in it in real life. So now let's re-sign some players. Who do we have to re-sign? Alright, so nobody too big. That's good. Alright, Barry Church, he wants more money. So it looks like Barry Church is going to be trying out free agency. Ronald Leary is re-signing with the team. Terrell Pryor is coming back. Terrence Williams is not interested in coming back, but that's alright. He was our 4th wide receiver, so I kind of lowballed him. And then the last person is Morris Claiborne. And Morris Claiborne is coming back. We need a tight end. And defensively, we will need a strong safety. Okay, so let's simulate to next week. All right, let's look at what we have for free agents. We have 17.86 million in cap room. What kind of free agents are we looking at? Oh, Martellus Bennett. It looks like the computer already put a bid on him for us. That could be good. We could try to go after Barry Church, but it also seems like we could get Will Hill for a little bit less money. I'll try to send something over to Will Hill, but also Shaquille Barrett could be good to have. Alright, so the free agents we got are Martellus Bennett, strong safety, defensive tackle, cornerback, and a backup quarterback. So it looks like we don't have any gaping holes on the offensive side. Let's check out the defensive side so we can get ready for the draft. So it looks like we will need a left outside linebacker and a defensive tackle and a strong safety are our main concerns right now. Oh, we didn't get the defensive tackle. It's too bad. So let's go in here and scout some players. We need left outside linebackers. Alright, so we will, let's start the draft. Start drafting. Alright, so let's pause the draft. Let's look at the pick we have. I think it's only one pick. We have the... Oh no, we traded away our 1st round pick for Joey Bosa, so we'll have to wait for our 2nd round pick to fall. Alright, so we'll skip ahead to next user pick. Maybe some of the left outside linebackers we need will stay, but I don't think we have anything until the 3rd round. Yeah, so I doubt we'll really have any sort of options here. So he has good stats. He's 29th in true talent, and we took him at 85th. That's pretty good. And the problem is he has slow development, which is kind of an issue. Hopefully that won't matter that much. And let's see the next user pick. We might try to take... I didn't scout any cornerbacks, so I might just try to get lucky on a cornerback right here. Or I can see if there's anybody else that I have scouted that I can look at. Oh wow, he is awful. Alright, so I will let the computer do the rest of the drafting, and I will skip to end of draft. Alright, so let's look at the look what the computer did for us. So did it take anybody that good? It got a good backup left tackle and a good backup center, which can't be mad about. Alright, so offense still looking just as good. Decent wide receiving core. Fine quarterback in Cardale Jones and Ezekiel Elliott. Alright, so I'm gonna first advance to preseason next week and see if I can't trade for a strong safety. So let's go see if we can get one trade going before we simulate to midseason. So this will be my last season, so I'm just going to give a 2nd round pick for Deion Buchanan to the Cardinals, and I will see if I can't just get any sort of wide receiver. What about, let's just get T.Y. Hilton on the team. So with this trade, I'm just sending Hitchens and 2 2nd rounders for T.Y. Hilton. Alright, so we've got 2 solid wide receivers, a good running back, a great line, good tight end now. In defense, I just need to take Deion Buchanan and add a player and move him to strong safety. So that puts him at a 93. So now the defense is looking pretty good, except for that one defensive tackle. I don't really have any cap room, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. So I will check back in at this at the midseason. At the midseason mark, it looks like we're finally performing. We're at 6-1. Jalen Smith has a ton of experience. Offense, Cardell Jones is doing well. Ezekiel Elliott's doing well. Let's look at some of these stats. Cardell Jones, 2,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions is just awful. Oh my god. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott is doing amazing. 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Receiving, T.Y. Hilton, 725, 5 touchdowns, and T.Y. Hilton, 380, 390, and 1. It's not great. Sacks are looking pretty good. Defense, leading in tackles currently is Jalen Smith. Sacks, Khalil Mack at 9.5, Malik Collins with 5.5, and Geno Atkins 5.5 as well, with Joey Bosa at 4. So I will spend some XP and catch you guys at the end of the season. At the end of season 2, it seems like we are 11-5. That puts us in the wild card, which is too bad. It's just another game we'll have to win, and it looks like Cardell Jones got no sort of XP. Ezekiel Elliott got a lot. Defense, Jalen Smith. Oh my god. He just had a ton. We'll have to look at the stats and see what he did to get that. Alright, so, 30 interceptions. 4,500 yards, 35 passing touchdowns. I don't know why he's throwing 30 interceptions. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott with 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns. That's pretty solid. Receiving, Des Bryant, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's just a great season. T.Y. Hilton, not great. Not what I wanted out of him. Blocking, Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith allow kind of a lot of sacks. Defense, let's go, not assist. Tackles, Jalen Smith. Sacks, 18 from Khalil Mack, 13 from Bosa, and 11.5 from Malik Collins. And interceptions, Jalen Smith and Orlando Scandrick both have 6, while Deion Buchanan and Sean Lee both have 3, with Claiborne at 2. And did any of them score any touchdowns? Defensive touchdowns? No defensive touchdowns. Kicking, did Dan Bailey come back? 58 for 59 on the extra points. 15 for 18. Alright, let's look at some of those awards. Oh wait, 3rd in offensive, 2nd in defensive, and we went 11-5. Le'Veon Bell wins the MVP with Scott Bullocks, a rookie on the Texans, coming in 2nd. Cardell Jones nowhere to be found on that list. Coach of the Year goes to Mike Tomlin. There I am. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Russell Wilson. Ezekiel Elliott 5th. Defensive Player of the Year, number 1, Jalen Smith. Number 2, Khalil Mack. It's just awesome. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think I really had anyone. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I didn't have anybody. Best QB, Cardell Jones somehow comes in 3rd with 30 interceptions. Drew Brees wins that one. Best running back, Devontae Freeman barely edges out Ezekiel Elliott. That would have been good for him. Des Bryant comes in 2nd to Julio Jones. Best O-line, Zach Martin and Travis Frederick. Tyron Smith coming in 3rd. Ronald Leary. Tyron Smith actually came in 4th. Ronald Leary is at 10th. Best D-line, Khalil Mack, number 1. Joey Bosa, number 5. Best linebacker, Luke Kuechly, with Jalen Smith at 3rd, which is surprising since he also won Defensive Player of the Year, but he's not the best linebacker. Not really sure how that works out. Best defensive back, Orlando Scandrick wins that. And any other Cowboys. And best kicker goes to Josh Lambo of the Cardinals. And Catanzaro. That's, they went with 2 kickers this year. Dan Bailey comes in 5th. Alright, so let's spend some XP and then get into this playoff game. We are at a 92 overall. That's better from the 89. Hopefully we can do well against these 86 overall Saints. Let's see how this turns out. Alright, so let's get started with this first quarter here. So let's jump to the next quarter. We can go faster than this. Right, so they march down the field and get a field goal. Now a touchdown. We're down 10-0 after the first quarter. Alright, let's go next quarter. Oh, we get a touchdown. We're back in this. Another touchdown. We're up 14-10. Another touchdown, 21-10. That's what I'm talking about with the Dallas Cowboys and this Cardell Jones-led team. Let's simulate to the fourth quarter. 28-10, 28-17. Heading into the fourth, so they're only down by 11 points. So this is definitely close. 53-yard punt. So they look like they are marching, and they get a field goal, so they are only down by 8 points. And it's our ball, and we must have had a turnover or something, because they get a touchdown, and do they get the 2 point? They get the 2 point. So we have 6 minutes to come back, and not come back to gain the lead again. We march down, and we get a field goal. Is that enough? That is barely enough. We barely edge out the Saints. Wow. So 28-31 is our final, and let's just look at the stats real quick, because that did not look great. Interception, Cardell Jones, just one though. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott with a great game, 157 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, nothing crazy out of any of the receivers. So let's finish game and head on into next week. So in the divisional round, we are facing the 11-5 Chicago Bears. Surprisingly, confidence boosts are definitely helping out the squad. So now we're at a 93 overall compared to their 87. Ezekiel Elliott up to a 93 overall with that 99 confidence. T.Y. Hilton at a 92. So it's definitely better than what we got him at. Cardell Jones reached that 82 overall. Alright, so let's simulate to the end of this first quarter. So we go off and we get 3 points, so it's tied 3-3 at the end of the first. Alright, we get another 7. We're up 13-3, 13-10. We are down by 4 heading into the third quarter. Next quarter. Alright, so they start, we're down 20-13. We're down 20-13 heading into the fourth quarter. So we're going to go play the key moments just in case. Alright, the defense needs help. We'll skip this moment. Alright, so we are down by 10. And they have the ball again. I'm not sure how they got the ball again, but now we are down by 13, and that's just going to be too much to overcome. So somehow with that unreal squad, we lose to the Bears, and it definitely has to do with Cardell Jones heading the team and throwing 2 interceptions.